Hey, what's up, John Sonmez here. So, wow, I didn't really want to make a video on this topic, but I feel like I've got to because it's been now just there's so many people making references to this term, which I recently discovered, which is called an incel. It's INCEL, which it means involuntarily celibate. Okay, and it's funny because actually, I guess I've been railing against this ideology without knowing that it even existed, as I've been seeing a lot of the men going their own way, the MGTOW movement. You can check out the video I did on this, sort of going down this road instead of the correct road that it should take you, which should be one of growth and personal development and hope. Okay, and so just to give you a little bit of background here for you guys that don't know what this movement is. So means involuntarily celibate. It's a bunch of guys that kind of branch off of this men going their own way movement, which is kind of a branch off of men's right activists, and it takes the extreme view that that life is hopeless, that there's no women that are going to sleep with these guys, and that they might as well either kill themselves or do massive damage to other people, or society, because society is unfair. Women are bitches, women are whores, all of this stuff, and they use makeup to make themselves hotter, and they're only going to sleep with attractive chads, as they call it. So they have a lot of memes out there and a lot of imagery of comparing themselves, deprecating themselves in the face of the alpha male chad. And what's sad about this, okay, honestly, looking at this could be something in the ideology that maybe a long time ago, when I was in my high school years, or I would have adopted. Like, I would have agreed with these guys and said, yeah, this is fucked up. This is the world. It's not my fault. It's like I'm entitled to this shit, and I could have adopted that ideology, right? Except that what ended up happening was that I kind of went the other way with this, right? I kind of said, well, you know what? This is my reality. It kind of sucks. It's unfair. It doesn't seem right to me. But maybe, just maybe, I can figure out what is the game that's being played, and how can I actually play and win in that game. And that's what I did. And my life changed around. And I discovered that these things that I thought were like just the way it is, was not the way it is. And that's why I do a lot of videos on the channel, a lot for you guys, and I'm talking about this idea that it's not just looks and money and whatnot. It's confidence, right? It's status that you create, that you can have social status, like it's social skills. There's a lot of things that you can do as a man to be much more attractive to women, and it's not just the fucking Chad thing, right? And to some degree, you can become what you would define as a Chad, right? Because you have a lot of control over at least your physicality, your masculinity, manliness, how you present yourself, how you talk, how you walk, right? And just the mindset that you have, right? And these are things that come through personal development and self-reflection, right? Now, some people, yes, they're genetically more predisposed to be gifted, quote, gifted with these attributes, okay? And a lot of positive encouragement and a lot of positive feedback loops is going to lead them to a mentality of somewhat of entitlement, of believing that they deserve things, that they're of higher value, of their higher status, which is going to, basically manifest itself in the world, right? They're gonna see better results. They're gonna see better results with women. They're gonna see that, and then that's gonna self-reinforce that, which is gonna cause them to have more success, right? But just because that cycle and that loop is happening for some people, and more naturalistically, doesn't mean that you cannot create that cycle for yourself, and actually be more, benefit from it more, because you will have a psychological understanding and an actual build up of those attributes on your own. It's not just something that you're just given, right? And I think that's actually more valuable, and it's something that you can control more, and you can actually be more successful in that way. Simply because you understand what's happening, right? It's the same thing. I've done some videos talking about you're not focusing on your strength, but focusing on your weaknesses. And the reason why is because if you have a natural strength in an area, you take that for granted. You don't work on it as hard. But if you take a weakness and you make it into a strength, you can actually take that a lot farther because you appreciate it, because you don't take it for granted, because you've actually had to develop that and work hard for that, right? And then that's the difference there. So I'm trying to think where to take this here, like where I want to go with this. But basically, I understand you guys, right? I understand this whole kind of incel movement. I get it, right? I'm not like, believe me, right? I was there at one point. I know that some of you are like, oh no, that's not true. No, it was fucking true. And I've been on both sides of it, right? And I've discovered, I've had a lot of success in the areas that you guys are struggling with, okay? But I had to figure it out, okay? I had to grow myself. I had to develop as a man, as a person, and to discover this. And that journey was worth it. I'm glad that I struggled. I'm glad that I was in the place where some of you are, believing that the world is unfair and women are bitches and it should be this way, only to like go through the process of actually taking the real steps that I need to really examine myself and find out what was wrong with me, right? Not just from a physical level, but from an actual emotional, like psychological level. Work on that shit and become stronger, and to become a person that doesn't care what other people think, at least as much as I can, right? And I'm still growing in that area, but to become a person who's confident, who's not afraid, who can go and conquer their fears, okay? And doesn't hide behind excuses, that doesn't have that victim mentality. I've got a whole playlist for you guys on victim mindset and victim mentality. Go check that out, because this is something that is critical in your life to realize that when you have this victim mindset, that it's the one thing that's going to prevent you from having any kind of success anywhere in your life if you hold on to that, because it's a lie. It tells you that the world is unfair and that you are just a victim, that you're just a pawn in the game and you have no control, right? Where the reality of the situation is that there is a game. Life is a game. There are rules to it. If you talk about relationships and dating and women and all of that, there is rules to this game for sure, right? You can't just do whatever the fuck you want, right? But it's a game that you can win. That's the thing, right? And not only can you win the game, but you can sort of hack the game. I was talking about this, I think, on a live stream. I should do a video specifically about this, but I'll talk about this concept now, which is essentially like, if you just refuse to play the game, opt out, let's say incel or men going their own way, and you're like, I'm just going to be whatever, either voluntary or involuntarily celibate, and I'm just going to be angry at the world, you're going to lose, right? You're definitely going to lose the game. You've opted yourself out. It's no good. There's no chance that, like, the game board is not going to conform to you, right? You're not remaking the game. Okay, so I know some people want to change society and say society's fucked up. It doesn't fucking matter what you think, because it's not gonna happen. Your best chance for changing society, I'll tell you what it is to become super fucking successful. and by doing that, you'll become someone of high status, and pretty soon you'll be a traitor to your cause, because you'll get what you're seeking, okay? But in order to do that, you would have to eliminate these thoughts, these ideas of the victim mentality. Right, that's the path to success. You'd have to let go of that. But so your option is one option. Is just, I don't like the fucking game. I don't like the fucking rules. It's not fair. Whatever. So I'm not playing. You lose. You lose by default. The option 2 is to play the game as a pawn from inside the game. You follow the rules. You do what you're supposed to do. You're going to have so much success in the game. At least you're acknowledging reality, and at least you're acknowledging, how things work. And I think to some degree, some of the people in the incel group are sort of, they have a twisted view of it. They think that it's like these Chads and Stacys and whatnot, but they're still not really playing the game. They're acknowledging that these are the rules. They don't quite understand the rules. It's a misconstrued conception of it. But most people in life will just play by the rules. They're like, okay, well, this is what I got to do, and this is right, and this is get you to the money status, right? Trying to do that, okay? Which is not the most effective way. The most effective way, the hack, okay, is to acknowledge the game, acknowledge the rules, acknowledge that you are a piece in the game, but to see yourself as the player outside the game, playing the game, that has control over the piece and the options, that can see the board and can see the moves and isn't constricted by what society tells you and what other people tell you you have to do. That's the hack. That's the secret. And that's the power that you have that you don't realize, is that there's ways to play the game that aren't the exact strategy that everyone else recommends, right? There's ways to look at the board to realize, to be detached from it and to say, look, okay, I don't have to agree. I don't have to think anything is fair, but here's the rules. How can I best move my piece and get to the goal, the destination that I want, right? That's just a hack for life, right? That's the best way to live your life, is to think of things that way, as opposed to not playing, like if refusing to acknowledge reality, right? This is refusing to acknowledge the rules, living in other people's reality, that's being the pawn in the game, okay, versus the meta level. The meta level is where you say, you know what, I acknowledge reality, but if I can get a good view of reality and understand it, and it's a non-biased view, if I'm not the person in the game that is having the bias because of the emotional bias, because of what I am or what hand I was dealt, but I can be above that, then I can see how I can actually work the game to my favor and to my advantage. So yeah, it's kind of sad, you know, and I think there's going to be more violence, and I think there's going to be more fucking problems. You know, I know that a lot of hopeful kind of incel type of mentality, or men going their own way, they think that the solution to this problem is to have some kind of a revolution, or to change society, to change the basic fundamental fucking laws of nature and biology and how things work, right? Or to create some kind of like, gosh, I can't even imagine what kind of fascist society that there would be if you like restricted rules on mating and try to make everything fair, based on this warped sense of justice and fairness. Like that seems insane to me. So they think that that's the solution, whereas, like I said in that video, and I'll keep on saying this, the solution to this is that yes, society is fucked up. Yes, there are problems. I'm totally against feminism and the fucking problems that it's caused in the world, but in reality, right? And we live in reality, okay? The solution is to teach boys to become men. It's to teach boys to deal with the fucking reality as it is, and to get what they want out of life, and to have the drive and the ambition and the motive to actually go forward and pursue, to become stronger than that, right? You in the face of adversity, in the face of an enemy, in the face of an injustice or perceived injustice, you've always got two options. One of them is to fucking crumble and to give in, right? The other one is to fight, is to become stronger than that obstacle. And so what I'm suggesting as a solution to this problem, which is an actual practical, pragmatic solution, because every single person can implement this for themselves, right? It doesn't require us to band together and make a fucking fight club and blow up the existing system, which is not going to happen, right? It's just going to cause needless violence and loss of lives. That's just pointless. It doesn't solve anything, right? It doesn't make anything better. But instead, what I'm suggesting is pragmatic and practical, because you can apply it to yourself and you can get your results, right? You just have to be willing to go through the pain and the difficulty of that, right? Instead of crying in the corner, instead of being sad and upset about how things are unfair, what about fucking manning up? And when I say manning up, what I mean is like facing your fears, like getting over it. Like, have you actually gone and taken it to the level of facing your fears and having courage that would be required to have an actual change in your life, right? For you guys, that identify with the incel, what have you actually really done? Like, tell me, and tell me, right? I mean, have you gone and improved yourself in every way that you possibly could, and then said, oh, you're still incel? I don't think that's the case, honestly, right? I mean, and maybe you're incel if your standards are so fucking high. But hey, but here's the thing, right? Like, look at this, right? Look at this. Again, this is my appeal to you, is basically this. Like, I'm in full agreement with you if you do these things first. Go to the fucking gym. Improve your body as much as possible, right? You can do that. You have control over that, right? You can get fit, and you can get in shape, and you can make yourself, fucking pretty damn good. Like, regardless of your genetics, you can improve that area quite a bit. Okay, can you improve your style? Right? Can you dress sharp? I mean, fuck, if you wear a suit, you're gonna look good, especially if you have a good build, right? You're gonna like get a lot of points in that level. Okay, can you build up your confidence level, right? In your social skills to be able to talk to people and overcome your fear, your approach anxiety, so that you can go and talk to girls and you can go and talk to women, so you can have even a numbers game. I mean, fuck, there's a lot of weird, fucked up people in this world. Right? I don't know if you've seen the internet, okay? And I guarantee you, no matter how fucked up and crazy you are, how bad you were cursed in the genetic lottery, that if you out of like 10,000 women, one of them is gonna like you. I promise you that. Okay, it's gonna be, the numbers are gonna be much better than that for sure. But have you gone and done that? Have you gone in and found that out, or are you just using a very small sample size of like the 5 girls in your whole fucking life that you've ever talked to, without any confidence, without any style, without doing any of those other things, right? There's a lot of things that you can do to improve yourself, okay? Heck, if you say it's money, then fucking get money, right? There's a lot of things that you can do before you go to the point where you say, well, society's unfair and life is unfair and I'm entitled to this shit even though I don't deserve it, even though I didn't do anything to get it, just because I'm fucking nice or I'm kind-hearted. Well, you're not fucking kind-hearted. You're fucking selfish as hell, and you just don't realize it. Because you want what you want, regardless of the cost or the price on other people, and you want what you want without playing by the rules of the game. You want to get paid for work you didn't do because you think that the work that you did is sufficient, but it's not. What all this is pointing to is the defect within you, and I'm saying this from a standpoint of someone who cares about you, because I was there. I was there, man. I was there. I was in your shoes, I was walking in your shoes, and I figured out a way out of it. Okay, I figured out that there was actually a problem with me, not with, yes, there's a problem with society. Fuck, society is fucked up, it's always gonna be fucked up. I mean, go back in history, show me a time when society wasn't fucked up. I mean, show me a time, right? Let's go back to fucking just in the United States when we had slavery. That's pretty fucked up society. Is the society more fucked up now? Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to fucking the Dark Ages, okay? Or the Spanish Inquisition, or the Crusades, right? Or let's go back to the fucking Roman times, and where we had slaves and we fucking threw them in the fucking Colosseum to get torn apart for people's entertainment. Are you entertained? Are you not entertained, right? Society's been fucked up for a really, really long time. It's kind of less fucked up now than it was, right? Maybe like in the 60s and 70s, maybe it was less fucked up and we've gotten more fucked up. But believe me, if we go back in time, society is always fucked up, okay? So if you are counting on like fixing society and having this utopian future that's going to solve your problems, you're probably shit out of luck. Like, maybe that's off in a couple thousand years from now, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. So what are you going to do about it? You could fucking kill yourself. I suppose that's possible. You could try and kill other people. I suppose that's possible. But you're not going to fucking band together and fix society. That's not going to fucking happen. So society is fucked up. That's fine. Deal with it. Okay? Deal with it and figure out, what is your plan? What is your plan that you're going to operate in this society? And I'll tell you one thing, coming from both sides of this equation, right? On the one side, when you're in that incel type of mindset and that trap, everything is fucked up, society is fucked up, it sucks, I wish it would change, okay? But if you cross over to the other side, if you do the work, if you dig deep, if you do the hard work that's required to get there, and it is, okay? It's a lot of digging deep, it's a lot of personal development, it's a lot of pain and blood and guts and work to get there. But if you do that, and you get to the other side and you're having the results and you have that success, all of a sudden it's a pretty nice world. It's pretty good. It's pretty good on this side. So what I'm saying is there's a bridge to get there. You're refusing to take the fucking bridge. If you refuse to take the fucking bridge, what can I do for you? But it's pretty nice. Like when you have the other perspective, you're like, oh, actually, a lot of this shit does make sense. A lot of these people that maybe you prejudge, and you say, oh, they're douchebags or assholes or sluts or whatever, they're actually pretty cool people, right? Because they don't have the fucking hang-ups that you have, right? I mean, what is the most taxing, right? Being around people that are like self-disparaging, disparaging other people, like calling people fucking douchebags and sluts, and like blaming other people and saying how fucked up everyone is in society, right? Would you rather be around a person like that? Is that like your ideal? I know you band together with these people because you share a common despair, right? That's a common like attribute of humanity, is that we band together with people. But do we really like that company? Do we really enjoy those people, or is it just that we're just crying together? You see what I'm saying? Would you rather be around that kind of person, or would you rather be around a person that is like, fuck, life is roses, it's awesome, I'm successful, everything I do touches, everything I touch turns to gold, right? I love everyone because I don't have to hate anyone, because I just am having a good time and my life is wonderful, right? Those kind of people are probably a lot better to hang around, and probably a lot more fun and a lot more interesting than people that are constantly in despair because the world sucks and everyone else sucks and hating people, right? And so think about it. Where are you in that spectrum? Honestly, like, you got to evaluate, because again, I've been there, but where are you? Are you on that side of the spectrum where you'd be a fucking downer to hang around because you just hate everyone, because you think that the world is fucked up and society is fucked up and girls are fucked up and guys that are douchebags and all this shit, right? If that's you, and you wonder why people don't want to be around you, or you're not having success with women or success or friends and all this shit, maybe it's because of that attitude that you've chosen to adopt. And maybe if you're further on this other spectrum and you start moving your direction that way, you'll find that you've got some charisma. You'll find that maybe the looks don't matter so much as you thought they did, right? And maybe it was just your own self-doubt, your own lack of self-esteem that was hurting you, right? I know plenty of people that, like I said, I don't want to get into the whole debate here, but I know plenty of people that you would say, how could this guy ever even possibly, get laid, and yet super successful in that area? You're not going to believe me, because that's fine. It doesn't matter. The point is, what you're dealt with, what you dealt, okay? And what are you going to do about it? How are you going to change your life? What are you going to actually do that's going to be productive to you? And you know what? At the end of the day, if you did the fucking best you can, and it's still fucked up and nothing works for you, then yeah, okay, then at least you fucking tried. Then you at least gave it your all. But you know what? 99.9% of you that are whining, complaining, that are identifying with this incel group, you're not doing that. You haven't given it all you can yet. Okay? Once you've given it all you can, I'll be on your side. But yeah, fuck, brother, man, this sucks. I'll be totally on your side. But give it all you can first. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. Is right. That's logical. That's the thing that makes sense. Unless you really think you're actually going to change society, and you think you're going to change it for the better by having a bunch of people that hate society and hate people, right? If anyone's going to change society, let's love people. You see what I'm saying? Let's change it in a positive way, right? That doesn't involve restricting people and being upset and butthurt about what people do. Let's have more freedom. Let people live their lives how they want to live their lives, and accept them as they are, rather than judging people. That's a better society, if we're going to change society in any way. Let's not change it down the dark dystopian path that you want to go. That's not going to be fun. It's not going to be good for anyone. You may think it'll be good for you. You might get laid, but it's going to be horrible. It's going to be a horrible place, right? Would you want to live in that society? I wouldn't want to live in that society. So all I'm saying is this. Like, I'll sum this up. This has been a long video, but fucking do what you can. Do the best that you can. Fucking max it out. Don't give up early. Until you've tried it all, until you've gone, all balls to the wall, right? On improving yourself, on digging deep, on doing these things. And then don't give up. And here's the thing that you'll find, okay? Because right now, in your mindset, you might be thinking, this is the one thing that I want in life, and I would be happy, and if I had this, this would be it. And why is it not? Why it's so unfair that I can't get this? And if the world would just give me this fucking thing, then I'd be happy. And it's fucking bitches' fault and these douchebags' fault and all of this shit and makeup and society and all blah 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 blah. Right? And if I could just have this one thing, but I think what you'll find is that if you go down that path of improving yourself, of working on yourself, on trying, balls to the wall, like I said, on doing everything that you can, that all of a sudden, that will be way more important than this. The thing that you think that you want that will solve all your problems, it's not. It's not going to solve all your problems, okay? Because when I got that, when I was able to get that, was able to be at the point where I was like, I can get that anytime that I want that, it wasn't that valuable to me. I mean, it's still valuable, but it's not that valuable. What was more valuable, way, way more valuable, was the whole fucking personal growth that I went through to become that, okay, or capable of that, and to become a person who could live with themselves, who had a real love for themselves, who had a love for other people, who didn't have all this hate and fucking bitterness in their heart, and could just like live in a well-adjusted way, not have emotional fucking trauma and baggage and drama all the time in their life, right? Because they were self-assured and confident in themselves. That was the value. That was the serious value in the journey. And so the thing that you think you want is not even what's going to be valuable to you in life. It's the fucking journey. It's the path. It's the progression. It's the growth that you're going to experience by doing everything that you can and knowing that you did. That is so much of a better, satisfying feeling. Even if you never got this result, which you will, it's fine. You will, trust me. But that's so much of a better, more satisfying, fulfilling feeling than the moment of the small, fleeting moment of pleasure, of happiness that you will experience if you get the poo-tang. Okay? Just to put it bluntly for you. So, that's all I got to say about that. And I welcome your comments. You disagree with what I'm saying here, let me know. Let's have a discussion and debate on this because I want to know. I want to know, like what could you find wrong with what I'm saying here? Honestly, because I think this is important, and I think that unless we deal with this, we're gonna have really fucked up problems, right? And this is the solution. The solution is to realize that you do have a choice, you've got an option, and there is a path of progression. The world is not futile. It is not futile. As long as you're willing to recognize reality, play by the rules, and to some degree live above those rules, right? Play from the meta level, then you can change your reality, and you can change it well beyond what you think it is. You've got a small box you're living in right now, my friend. It's time to fucking blow the lid off the box and expand your reality. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.